Imagine a substance so dangerous that it kills more people every year than terrorism, wars, homicides, and car accidents combined. A substance that doesn't just injure tens of millions in violent crimes, but keeps hundreds of millions trapped in a cycle of chronic disease. If a scientist were to invent this liquid today, it would be banned instantly as a high-grade biological weapon. And yet, more than 2 billion people drink it regularly. Most of us can't imagine a wedding without wine, a summer barbecue without beer, or a celebration without champagne. We drink when we're stressed, when we're happy, and simply because it's the weekend. This is the great paradox of human civilization. Why do we cling so tightly to the very thing that harms us the most? To find out, we need to see what happens to your body after just one sip. Alcohol, or ethanol, isn't something nature intended for us to drink in large quantities. In reality, it's a biological weapon. Yeast produces it during fermentation to wipe out any bacterial competition. It is a molecule of war. When you take a sip, sextillions of these tiny alcohol molecules flood your system. They don't need a complex key to enter your cells. Because alcohol is soluble in both water and fat, it can pass through almost any biological barrier. Within minutes, it reaches your liver, your body's primary detox center. But your liver has a strict speed limit. It can only process about one small sip every 5 minutes. If you drink faster than that, your liver becomes overwhelmed, and the excess alcohol begins to circulate through your bloodstream, heading straight for the most sensitive organ of all, your brain. Inside your brain, the intruders begin their sabotage. Alcohol's impact on the brain is so complex that researchers are still uncovering its mechanisms. What we do know is that it's a master of deception. It targets neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers of the brain. It mimics GABA, the brain's primary inhibitory signal, effectively numbing your neurons and slowing down communication. At the same time, it blocks glutamate, which is responsible for exciting the brain. The result? A massive sedation. Tension melts away, stress disappears. But then, it hits the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and self-control. When this area is stunned, your internal filter vanishes. You become disinhibited. You say things you'd normally keep secret. To top it off, alcohol triggers a surge of endorphins, our natural feel-good molecules. These are the chemicals tied to human bonding, the same ones we produce when we laugh or sing together. Suddenly, the world feels lighter. The invisible walls of social anxiety begin to soften. For a moment, you feel like a better version of yourself. Deep diving into the biology of human habits takes hundreds of hours of research and animation. If you find this information eye-opening, please consider subscribing to FactoLab. It's a small click for you, but it's what keeps this laboratory running and allows us to create more science-based stories. Now, let's see what happens when the occasional drink becomes a permanent guest in your body. But the biological loan you took for that feel-good moment comes with high interest. For millions, the occasional drink turns into a weekly habit, then a daily ritual. Over years, the damage builds up at a molecular level. When your body breaks down alcohol, it creates acetaldehyde, a chemical far more toxic than alcohol itself. It wreaks havoc on your DNA and prevents cells from repairing themselves. In the brain, regular drinking causes neurons to shrink and connections to wither. This is why long-term drinkers often experience memory fade and a significantly higher risk of dementia. And it's not just the brain. Alcohol is a confirmed carcinogen. It is linked to at least 8 types of cancer, from the mouth to the colon. In women, the risk of breast cancer begins to rise at a consumption level of less than 1 glass of wine per day. Worldwide, alcohol-related cancers claim over 400,000 lives annually. Perhaps the most famous victim of alcohol is the liver. Alcohol disrupts fat metabolism, causing fat to accumulate inside liver cells. The terrifying part? This often has no symptoms. You can feel perfectly healthy while your liver is slowly turning into fat, then swelling with inflammation, and finally scarring over. This final stage is cirrhosis. It is largely irreversible and leads to the deaths of 600,000 people every year. But the heart isn't safe either. Alcohol raises blood pressure, weakens heart muscles, and increases the risk of stroke. And then there's the weight gain. Alcohol is empty calories, but it also triggers intense hunger in many people, leading to obesity and a cascade of metabolic issues. When scientists look at the data, the risk of premature death starts rising significantly at just 3 beers a day for men and 2 for women. Yet, in many parts of the world, this is considered normal social drinking. What makes alcohol unique and uniquely dangerous is its ability to destroy people who never even touched the bottle. The numbness and disinhibition of a few drinks turn humans into clumsy, reckless versions of themselves. Every year, 500,000 people die in alcohol-fueled accidents. In car crashes alone, more than half of the victims are innocent bystanders, people who were sober but had the misfortune of being on the road with someone who wasn't. Then there is the violence. Alcohol is a massive driver of domestic abuse, assaults, and homicides. Globally, nearly 50% of all violent crimes are committed by offenders under the influence. It's like a drunk mob the size of a whole city committing a massacre every single year. And we haven't even mentioned the 600,000 babies born each year with lifelong disabilities because of fetal alcohol exposure. So why do we do it? We made a pact with the devil because human interaction is inherently messy and awkward. We long for closeness, but we fear judgment. Alcohol offers an effortless chemical shortcut to connection. It's the ultimate social lubricant. But the tide is shifting. Younger generations, Gen Z in particular, are drinking significantly less than their parents. In many countries, binge drinking has plummeted. This is a massive victory for public health. Fewer hospital beds will be filled. More lives will stay on track. However, as alcohol use falls, loneliness and mental health issues are rising. It seems that while we are losing the poisonous crutch, we haven't yet figured out how to build social connections without it. Many are turning to other drugs, like cannabis, which often leads to more isolation rather than less. The challenge for our future is to find a way to rejoice, celebrate, and connect without a chemical crutch. We need to learn how to be more us without the help of a biological weapon. How we navigate this new world is up to us, but for now, understanding the cost of that next drink is the first step toward a clearer future. Thanks for watching until the end. If this video made you think, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more FactoLab stories. Stay curious.